You've trained with lots of NHL guys like Matt Rempe and whatnot. Have you learned anything from guys like that? Because I feel like that's a guy that we don't really know anything about. We just know that he fights, he gets called up, he gets sent down, but like you've had personal experiences.
I haven't been on the ice with him, but I've obviously talked to him and stuff like that. I'll probably see him. I got a charity event coming up. I'll try and see him when I'm out there. I'll be out that way in New York and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I've been on the ice with lots of NHL guys. I've been, I get to skate with some young kind of NHL contracted guys in the summer up here and stuff like that, which is great. But yeah, I feel like when you get to that level, you just, like I said, you're getting coached. Even as a fighter, you're getting coached by the best, and you're just getting these little tips. I'm still learning fighting stuff. Like whenever I'm around like an old NHL enforcer, I'm picking their brains, man. I want to know because everybody has these little greasy tricks up their sleeve that you wouldn't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like stuff that you wouldn't even think about. And when they tell you, they're like, oh, that's a legit move. And I got some of those where I would tell you and you'd be like, oh my God, that's so good. Why didn't I think of that? But it's just, it's been passed down the line for me. So I look forward to when I retire and I can start putting it all online. I'm just going to do a full clinic online and just put out all my fighting skills and just do like straight coaching clinics for that when I'm done. I just don't obviously want to give them away yet. Obviously, I don't need people using them against me. But yeah, when I retire, I'll definitely share everything I know in that department.
That'd be a really cool YouTube series, learning how to fight like diamond hands with diamond hands.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
like a 10-part series, whatnot.
Yeah, and I feel like you can get as detailed as you want with it. It's like, I almost call it like, it's almost like a stand-up jiu-jitsu. Just like a grappling kind of, it's really fun. So it's like its own little sport. So
have you trained BJJ on its own?
No, I haven't. No, I'd like to one day. I feel like it's one of those things though that as soon as I put my toes in the water, it's going to be like full tilt, pedal to the metal. So I'm kind of saving that one for when I retire. I think that'll be probably where I go full time. I can see myself geeking out. My kids are in it. All my kids are in it. So even my daughter. So
maybe we should do that together.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah,
I mean, the sparring would be really cool.
Yeah, the wrestling part of it and like trying to choke each other out. It's cool, man. You're literally learning how to kill people with your bare hands. It's really cool. What cooler sport is there? I'm
sure you can attest to this. I found in my personal experiences because I did BJJ for about a year and a bit. I had the hip surgery. My surgeon told me like no more BJJ. Yeah. It's so hip dependent. Like please don't do this. Yeah. You're gonna ruin all my nice work. And so then Muay Thai was like a great substitute for me because then I could still get that combat action, but without ruining my hip. And so I found both with the BJJ and the Muay Thai, like the environment that you're in, you would think it's just a bunch of meatheads looking to beat each other up and throw each other around. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like the most respectful environment I've ever been in my life.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody in those rooms have been humbled. So it's like I think everybody knows. Anybody that's gone into like. It's like when you go to the bar, you run into these guys that have never been in a real fight. They're like, oh, I'm the toughest guy ever. I knocked out 30 people. Not one fair fight in their life. You know what I mean? Whereas like, you go into a jiu-jitsu gym or you go into an MMA gym, boxing gym, every single one of those guys in that gym has been in a situation where they've sparred somebody and they're halfway through the first round and they're like, holy shit. This guy is way above my caliber. He could flatline me right now if he wanted to. Thank God we're all respectful and just here to get better so we're not killing each other most of the time. But I think anybody that trains MMA, boxing, any sort of combat sports has been in a situation where they get in a ring and realize I am totally outclassed here. This guy could seriously hurt me if he wanted to. And generally they're not going to hurt you. They just want to get better, make you better. They'll give you pointers. But it is really cool. I always felt like I got along really well with anybody in combat sports because a majority of them are very humble guys and they realize that at the end of the day, there's always somebody out there that's a little bigger, a little stronger, and maybe a little tougher. So. Yep,
I've heard that many, many times. And they also have like a very similar mentality. Like they think very similarly as well, and maybe that's why you and I get along because we have a very similar way of thinking. Outside of I try to stop pucks, you fight, but still the world views and whatnot. I think we share are very similar.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've always felt really at home at the gym. With the boxers and the fighters and stuff. And it is funny too because there's obviously the other side of it too where you get like a lot of guys with the similar characteristics where it's like some guy like The same guy, oh, he's late again, or you know what I mean? You're like, okay, lost his keys. Oh, okay, he gets to the gym late. He's like, oh, I couldn't find my keys. I'm like, oh, sounds like me, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of that too. Not everybody. I feel like MMA part less so, but I really like the MMA and the jiu-jitsu guys, their creativity and the way their brain works. I find they're very creative, because like to be in jiu-jitsu or to be in MMA, I feel like there's so many different things going on. You got to be very creative with it. It's almost more of an art, just like boxing is too, I think. But boxing is very like, it is very like, I feel like orthodox, like do it this way. And like, I feel like there's less guys going off the beaten path in boxing and doing things their own way, I guess you can say. Whereas I feel like in MMA, a lot of guys are like, hey, I'm going to start doing it this way and see how this works. Or maybe I'm going to low kick more and do these like crazy calf kicks. Mm-hmm. And like now they change the game. So it's like, I feel like I always like going into MMA gyms, and like, I feel like I have really crazy deep conversations with a lot of people, because they're like more creative minded people, which I find myself to be too. That's kind of how my brain works, like an engineer's mind. Like I want to break things down and figure out new ways to do it. Like forget the way that we've all been taught to do it. I want to try and figure out a better way, or find out a way that works better for me. You know, so I always like that about MMA gyms and stuff like that. So
it's funny you mentioned that. There was a guy that I was chatting with for some tips. Doing some sparring class the other day, and he was teaching me like when it comes to the low kicks. There's this one little spot like right behind the knee. Like if you kick it the right way, it shuts the nerve off, and your opponent is just completely disabled. And I'm learning this, and I'm like, you're a crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah,
because like I had no idea about this. And I told him after, I was like, I want to grab a coffee after. He's like, oh, you want some more tips? I'm like, no, like I want to hang out with you.
Pick your brain.
Yeah, I want to pick your brain, just like as bros. He's like, oh, nobody's ever asked me that before. I'm like, well, great, I am now. Let's go hang out.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, it's cool. I've always found that about when I go to MMA gyms and jiu-jitsu guys and stuff. They're always fun to talk to and a little more creative minded. It helped me a lot when I was training for Ice Wars. I was training with my friend Caleb Starnes. He fought in the UFC, and he's a obviously MMA guy, jiu-jitsu, boxing, very strong puncher, very heavy-handed, obviously kickboxing, you name it, right? But it was fun to train with him because he's so creative-minded. He'd be like, hey, what do you do? He'd get me to explain a hockey fight to him, and I'd show him everything, like my moves and stuff like that. And then his brain would go, he'd be like, hey, what about this? You ever try this? And then we'd just start making things, we would just start making things up. We'd kind of just start coming up with new moves for ourselves and kind of trying to figure out. So it was really cool to train with him because of his creative mind and the way it was working. And for Ice Wars 1, we were coming up with all these new techniques that I've been trying and testing out along the way. And it's been really fun, but it was just cool to train with him originally. You know, I did the straight boxing with, Ken LaCusta and stuff like that. But to do that, I feel like helped me a lot too.
We do a hockey podcast called Sling the Biscuit every single Sunday. The clips, the bite-sized chunks are right here. Only the hits, the full-length show, which you don't want to miss, is right here. That's Dave. I'm Travis. We'll see you soon.